Marathon, a new and innovative first-person extraction shooter made by the developers of Destiny and Halo, just released on March 5th. It's part of a polarizing genre, and the big question is, can it deliver and can it be as good as Arc Raiders? Well, I played it for roughly 10 hours in open beta, so here's everything you need to know about Marathon. Marathon will primarily take place on Tau Ceti 5, a vast, quite beautiful and now uninhabitable planet in the year 2893. This space colony was once home to 30,000 humans before they all vanished without much of a trace. One of the only clues as to what happened is a massive colony ship still orbiting the planet, the UECE Marathon. Much like the original Marathon from 1994, the game's narrative focuses on an AI becoming self-conscious, going rampant and killing all humans. This AI is the only NPC faction which you'll face through armed robots roaming the surface. You and up to 2 friends fight for survival in a lobby of 15 other runners, and only a few can extract along with the valuable loot they found. You try to loot and kill whatever crosses your path in hopes of finding high value items and information about what happened to the people of Tau Ceti 5. The objective is generally to exfil with cool weapons, heal, data and all sorts of things, like the basic concept of basically every other extraction shooter. But here's the twist, you aren't human. Or at least you're not a human currently running around the planet. The characters you play are called shells. Humans upload their minds into these bodies, these shells, and control them remotely. Every shell has different mechanics, abilities and designs, as well as their own unique cores, which can enhance the abilities. In the open beta there were 6 playable shells, but in the final game the roster will expand to 7 total shells. There's a Destroyer, an Assassin, Recon, Vandal, Triage and Rook. The Destroyer is the basic tank equipped with missiles that lock onto enemies and a full body energy shield, making him invulnerable to any fire incoming from the front, at least for a few seconds. I found this role to be very powerful due to Set's shield. There's also some special robots which have this very annoying shield, so you would really have to get creative to counter that, especially in tight spaces. The Assassin is a more stealthy role, which comes with a throwable smoke screen which stretches really far. But the main element of the Assassin is the temporary invisibility. You are able to become invisible for a short while, making this a great way to ambush unknown enemies or sneak into buildings unnoticed. And especially with the smoke screens in combination, this can be a really effective mechanic. Although you don't really become entirely invisible. Other runners are still able to see you, but it's definitely hard to spot an assassin coming towards you. But if you're being shot while the invisibility is enabled, you instantly become visible again and will have to wait for a timer to cool down. The Recon I personally haven't played, but it looks kinda cool. I mean, it's the basic gadgets you'd expect from it really. You got sonar waves which detect nearby enemies, even through walls, and you can deploy a tracker drone which, when you're detonated near players, slows them down for some time and deals them some great damage. The Thief has a pickpocket drone which I find very interesting. Basically a drone which the name suggests grabs all the loot from a player's backpack. The movement mechanic of the Thief is a grapple. I didn't play this role, so I can't really say much about it or about the feel of this character, but the concept sounds really cool to me. Now Vandal is the coolest shell in my opinion. Not just the designs, but also the abilities are the most useful. You play the Vandal if you are most keen on moving fast and being agile. Mobility is key. You aren't just faster and have faster weapon handling, the double jump and fast slides are the elements really facilitating this role. You can get to high places which aren't accessible to other roles, and you can evade enemies really quick, which really comes in handy with all the annoying robots around the map just raiding the Friar ass. You're also equipped with a charging arm cannon which knocks back enemies. Also very important, stamina is being increased, which at first doesn't sound like much, but trust me, you'll find out very quick why that's important. The stamina system of Marathon is basically your shell overheating. Once you get to a certain point, you first have to cool down. And this happens fast. I wouldn't call the fights or anything slow paced, but you really aren't moving fast. So you'll be thankful for better stamina. Lastly, of course, there's a medic, called Triage in this game. I don't think I have to say much about this one, honestly. There's healing drones for you and your mates, increased storage for consumables, but what is cool is that you can revive down teammates instantly. I only played the Medic, Vandal and the Destroyer, but I gotta say they all feel very distinct from each other, and different combinations of certain roles in a team can really up your game by quite a lot. Now the weapons in this game are alright for the most part. Of course there's different types of weapons and they all have different rarities and ammunition and everything. There's 4 types of ammunition as to my understanding. Light, heavy rounds, and whatever these are. I think they're called vault batteries, but for my first 8 hours I didn't have any clue of what they were for. But what actually kind of surprised me is how all weapons are available to any shell, given how much they emphasized on distinguishing between them. I originally thought, for example, maybe snipers were only available for recons, or at least have better stats for their fitting role. The weapons all felt solid with realistic recoil and heaviness to them. The standard weapons you can claim are bad, but worse than you'd expect. Like really bad, making it a challenge to make any progress in terms of extracted loot. But once you kill someone, take the loot and actually get to extract, it's awesome and feels very rewarding, like you want it from an extraction shooter. Gunfights are usually very short-lived, but so chaotic and so intense. Most of the time you accidentally stumble across other runners and it quickly becomes a small-scale battle. Headshots feel impactful, time to kill is slow, which fits the game, and dead bodies bleed aesthetically and even rot until they become with the soil. I gotta say, stealing someone's loot and extracting with it is very rewarding, unlike the missions, which aren't as rewarding. And that brings me to the next point. In Marathon there are 6 factions which you can choose to do missions for. Every faction has different focuses and progression paths, or so it's said. In reality, they share most of the missions, and they get repetitive quick. Arachne and Mida focus on the PvP aspect of the game, encouraging you to kill other runners, and basically all the other factions have the same missions. The only thing really distinguishing the factions are the representative AIs. Every faction has its own AI, which firstly introduces you to its theme, and secondly gives you your quests. The quests really aren't anything special. Go there, find that, go here, do that, so on and so on. The PvP focused factions literally just tell you to kill runners, like that's all. And the rewards aren't too great either. Just your generic loot shit. Like I said, the only real rewards are the ones you're taking home from the rounds. The progression is fine. You can upgrade looting speed and stamina and everything, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. At least not in the time I've played it. The one problem this game has, the one problem a lot of people online also had with this game, is the menu.
Generally horror.
It's one of the most chaotic menus I've ever seen. I promise you won't find anything, and the effort you have to take before being able to actually stand around is crazy. And the codex doesn't help one bit. In fact, it made me understand even less. I really hope they are able to fix that, because I've seen many people on social media criticize exactly that. Well, what do I know? My experience with this game was awesome. In conclusion, I can say that I love the atmosphere and everything surrounding it. The art style is innovative and definitely feels like something fresh. And I also think the lore is deep enough, although it doesn't have a lot in common with the original. The gameplay is solid and extracting feels as rewarding as it should. The menu is a total mess, but I see that getting fixed in the near future. The 3 maps that were available in the beta were pretty cool, but I do expect at least 5 maps available at launch. It took some time to get into it, but I generally liked the 10 hours I had in it, and all my expectations going into it were met. Probably because I just expected some cool visuals. But the question is it worth $40? And I say, I don't know, you need to know for yourself. Will I buy it? No. Is it because I rather want to get Crimson Desert? Yes, 100%. I had a good time with Marathon, but I really don't want to stretch it. It is great, not perfect. What's your thoughts on it? And feel free to tell me down in the comments if you buy it. Alright, that's all from me. Be cool to leave a like and to follow, and I'll see you in the next one.